What's going on, gamers? So yeah, I'm gonna cover this. You guys know I had to. The reason why is because there's some stuff to deduct here. It gets very interesting. Oh yeah, Pony, sit down. It says right here, Xbox Series SX have sold less than 30 million units, though they are profitable now. Okay. The interesting thing about this is that this was brought up about the whole of last year, and now it's resurfacing because I have a great memory. I don't forget anything. Um, no. Uh, The reason why this is not good is because they're basically, to me, and trust me, I've been following the cell stuff for a long time as well. They're calling Matt Piscatella a liar, and they're calling Christopher Dring a liar, and they're calling Famitsu a liar. Because eventually they have to adjust their NPD sales, their sales from the game industry business, and their sales from Japan and from other regions outside of that. So we're going to get into this, and then we're going to realize that something is a little bit off here. Now, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into this. Reowned AMD Kepler, or leaker Kepler L2, has revealed in a series of posts on a NeoGAF board via Reddit that the Xbox Series and X consoles have sold less than 30 million units, according to his estimates based on AMD sales data. I would like to see this. There aren't even at 30 million, he says. Very interesting. You don't need third-party trackers. You can use AMD's number and Sony's number to figure out Xbox sales. Now, if he actually had the actual Sony sales and then what AMD said they had in totality from consoles only between those two, then yeah, that's pretty obvious that you can deduct that. If that was the case, right? So let's see here. Steam Deck is part of SCB. Well, let's just finish it. No, he says, okay, let's read this again. They aren't even at 30 million, right? You don't need third-party trackers. You can use AMD's numbers and Sony's numbers to figure out Xbox sales. Yeah, you can do that if they have the correct numbers. Steam Deck is part of SCBU and counted as a console, which is kind of funny. Van Gogh and all its variants were developed by SCBU Semi-Custom Business Unit and fall under the same reporting as the consoles, but they don't report Steam sales quarterly. Stupid. All this whole thing seems weird. Z1, Z2, we know about that, and the Extreme fall under the client segment. Okay, it's also important to know that AMD's number is higher than what Sony Xbox would count as unit sales since it includes chips sold. I knew something was wrong here. But still in flight. So one thing before I continue this, because it just makes me want to slap the shit out of this person, and I don't mean to say that violently, I mean metaphorically speaking. Cosmically slap him with some sunlight so that he can wake up and have some clarity. Why are you going this hard to try to figure things out when the professional guys are telling you who's actually doing the professional work monthly? Are we ready? Because I need to stop this right here. And here's one of VG charts. Okay, one thing that I have to tell you about VG charts is that they report sell through, not even shipped. They have the Series X at 33 million point 27, right? Sold through, by the way. Shipped is different. Okay, so for example, they got the Switch 1 at 151 sold through, but that's up to the latest information that they have, not up to date right now, because they have to wait on official numbers too. It used to be they used to guess more. But right here it says that Nintendo gave you their official numbers at 153 million for the Switch 1. 1 million away from passing the DS for all time for Nintendo consoles. But they have it at 151. So they're not going to update that until the timeline gets there with the official numbers that they get from Matt Piscatella, see, Europe, Christopher Dring, and Famitsu from Japan. Dengeki used to be involved in all that. And then these are total worldwide, right? Because they adjusted the numbers. That's what they gave them. So this whole time they've been adjusting Xbox numbers, and this is what they gave them up to this point. It doesn't make sense to say that it's under 30 million when the professionals are getting the real numbers and are giving us the stats from Matt Piscatella, Christopher Dring, and from Mitsu. Japan is just reporting the results. Matt Piscatella is just reporting numbers, and so is Christopher Dring, right? So what I don't understand, and whoever else is helping him along in the game industry's business, not just him, there's a team that works together. You know what I mean? Benji Sales used to be on Twitter helping in the U.S. He was a nice guy. Hopefully he's okay. He kind of disappeared. I hope that he is. I haven't seen him post anything. But I used to be a part of that all the way back in the 360 era. I know all about that. Worldwide. Everything. Weekly. So what I don't understand is how it's saying it hasn't even hit 30 months later right now, because it's talking about right now, right? Where are we at, guys? We're in August. Up to date was the full month of June. We don't even have the full of July yet. You kind of get where I'm going, right? And they report sold. This is not shipped. So what are we talking about here, guys? Something's wrong here. Somebody's lying, right? Now you see why I say the truth is the most important thing, because if you don't have it, then you're just surrounded in a world of lies. But what sets you free? Look around this world and tell me why you see so much slavery. You see? People don't understand, man. The truth is the foundation of the universe, of everything. You have no foundation, everything is shaky and just falls out. You want to build a company? What they say, get the understanding first. Stand under to understand. Understand the foundation. We want to understand. So, this is the thing. I know what these guys have been doing for years. I know this guy's face. I know this. You know what I mean? This right here? Who's this guy? Where is he at? I kind of feel like that this is a fanboy post to just downplay. You know how I am. I say if we're going to criticize about something real. If I'm going to come criticize, it's going to be because it's worth it. Not because I want to make up something to make something already look negative. I was like, why do you need to do that before? Microsoft was already doing that themselves. They're going to step on landmines and rakes for you and then backtrack. And then you should have told them, you didn't have to step on any of that, you know? You just never did that, just not doing anything. They'll destroy themselves in front of you. Why do this? This is what I did. This is what I don't understand. There's no music none of that needed for this, because I kind of feel like this is, you know, kind of getting a little bit intense and all that. So that's my thing with this guy. Unless this person is lying about the leaker, then he's making his name look bad. And they said NeoGAF. This was something before, etc. You usually used to be able to get up in there. But remember, guys, I swear I've seen this before, and I feel like it's just resurfacing again, and it's not anything new. This happened last year or earlier this year. So, finishing off though, now that we took a look at this, right? He says it's also important to note that AMD's number is higher than what Sony Xbox will count as unit sales, since it includes chips sold but still in flight. Quarter 3, 100 million console units with 66 million PlayStation 5 and 4 million Steam Decks will put Series S and X at 29 million. Or if they didn't include that, it would be at 33, which will kind of be closer to that. Maybe somebody might be looking too hard. Tell me why VG Torch would be 4 million units and these guys' results would be 4 million units behind. Because it used to be where they would just give you their really estimates. And then here will come these dudes that I tell you about, and they say, oh, okay, so we were off this bit. And people used to say, VG Charts, you're doing this too much. So they stopped doing that, and now they give you the closest accurate result that you can. And if there's any adjustments that need to be made, they're getting it from these guys. They can have the real official numbers. So these are updates every month for official numbers worldwide. How are you telling me these guys, these professionals, are 4 million units behind on sold, not even shipped? Are you even using your own logic? Because it's not making any sense. So let's continue here. Q4, 100 million console units, 75 million PlayStation 5, and 4 million Steam Decks. which means that Xbox sold a minimum of 21 million units. So Xbox sells for this gen range for a minimum of 21 million. Plus quarter one, quarter two, 2025 sales to a maximum of 29 million. What? No. That's off, man. That doesn't make any sense. This is why Microsoft has to come out and say something. They have to just give you the real numbers. That's the only thing that can even get past what they say. They didn't do that, this would not be possible. So he's saying that they have three times the base. Um, Decline 22%. Yeah, but we've seen them say that. PlayStation 5 has a brief period of being even profitable, but then component prices went up. Yep. And they went right back to losing money. As far as I know, the regular PS5 is still sold at a minor loss. Only the Pro is profitable. That's true. They did a die shrink for the Series X and raised prices. It should be profitable now. Yes, that was the daily that did that. Okay, so this is where this started. This is where this came from over here at WCC of Tech, which I've liked some of their posts before. I just don't understand bringing this up again. But you guys see what I'm saying, though, right? Basically, what I just showed you. It's like this is still not bad. Like I said, man, hell, I wish the Dreamcast could have got to 30 something. That's still not terrible. But if you keep on comparing it to those two, they're trying to make it look that way. Obviously, I would have liked to see this be at least 43, 45 right now. I think that would have been a lot better. As we know, Switch is just gonna, man, in 2 years, I think this will probably have 40 million, 35, unless this bullshit affects the prices, because it doesn't make sense to jack it up even more and hurt yourselves. I just don't understand why people are going to say politics doesn't affect gaming. If you say that, then to me, your brain is not working. You might want to go look at all the invasions and all the far left programming and narrative interjections and so much. But if people are only in their own little bubbles and they can't see behind the curtain, I don't know what else to tell them. But everybody knows ever since they came to the industry, they do nothing but damage. Yeah, and then they'll hijack things and get you to surrender and play their game. You gotta deal with them some way, or they're not gonna just exit out easily. This is what I understand why people are so naive. It blows my mind. hmm Definitely, if you know who's all the way at the top and runs all this. All right, now, yeah, that's pretty much it on this. Let me know what you guys think about this, because like I said, these guys are not lying. They're just giving you honest results and reporting. And if they were, Microsoft will come out and reveal something and show that this whole time, all this stuff was just a hoax then. But is that really the case because this guy wants to do this? I don't think so. I'm shutting all of this down until further notice. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just more fanboy stuff disguised as trying to appear professional. Let me know what you think. And if I'm wrong, come prove me wrong then. Peace out.